Internet.
Okay. So now we are live and we want to give people some time to come on in and give us time to even share this broadcast. So as people come in, and I'm still looking for it, Ty.
Okay.
Let me see.
I will do the same.
Yeah.
So will I.
So we can get everybody in on this conversation.
They're not ready for it.
I don't think I'm ready.
The people are ready.
When you send it, man, I'll hit it. The people are ready.
The people are ready.
They're ready. Did you see it, Tiffany?
No.
Okay.
I don't either.
Yeah, Ty, I don't see it.
Oh, wait. Facebook just gave me a message. You're having trouble with Facebook issue. You on Facebook?
I forgot one of my windows is open. I'll be right back.
Facebook is having an issue, but we are live on YouTube.
Really? Okay.
I don't know where y'all at, but it's coming down where I live.
It was here in Maryland earlier.
Really? We had sprinkles, but the clouds
It's been raining all day long. Off and on. Uh-oh.
Oh my goodness.
Okay.
Okay, we're good.
We're all good?
Yes.
On Facebook
all right over there?
too.
Yeah, I had to mute Sydney.
Okay. Now I see it. Okay. Let me make sure I have my volume down. And then we have to wait for Tiffany to get back. I want to make sure I share it to my page. Give me a chance to share it. Uncle Kenny, did you get a chance to share it to your page?
I'm doing it right now.
Okay. Thank you all for your patience. I see a few of you are with us, and we had some technical difficulties with Facebook, but we're here now, and we're so happy that you have joined us. We do ask that you like and share the stream as well. I see you, Curtis. I see you, Pat. I see you, Jeannie. Thank you all that are here supporting Women's Champ and RETV. We're waiting on one more person to come on in. I don't know what happened there. But while we're waiting on her, I'd love to introduce everyone that you see on the screen. We have Nicole. We have my Uncle Kenny, which I'm so happy to have him here. I have a new friend in Black who's here with us as well. And last but not least,
I am here.
Okay. Last but not least, we have Mr. RETV himself. I have to make sure while we give Tiffany some time to join back with us that I really stress, hey Lauren, I see you, hey Ariel, stress that we are able to provide this show, bring the show to you. Okay, Tiffany, I was giving introductions. So everybody, that's Tiffany who's just joined us.
Hello. Technical difficulties. I don't know what happened. My apologies.
That's okay. That's okay. That's what happens sometimes when we don't know. But I was introducing Tyron, who is the mastermind behind RETV. Ty is such a great gentleman. I'm so happy to be a part of this platform. So we ask all of you that are watching with us right now, please like, please share. And Ty, I'm so sorry. I have to remember this week. I said I was going to make sure I let everybody know that you all have an app. I kept pushing for the YouTube, the Instagram, and Facebook, but RETV has their own app. So you can always go back and watch any of the shows. So now that we've said all of that, we've made our introduction, we are going to get to our question of the week, which is, why do men sabotage good relationships? And I will tell you all this. I have experience in that area. I'm not the lady that need to date multiple men to get it. I had one experience, and I have my take on it, but we're going to hear from the men. But I want to start with Tiffany because she's the one that actually posed this question on Millionaire Man Cave. So Tiffany, you get to start us out. What made you even ask that question to the men?
Okay, so I asked the question just in introspection. I mean, this time of quarantine, we have a lot of time to think and hopefully grow within ourselves and just think about everything. And so I'm thinking about, life and relationships and things like that. And I started thinking about things that have happened in the past. Now, these situations occurred a long time ago, but I've never really fully gotten the answer. So that's what made me ask it to the fellas. But for everybody who may have missed that particular episode, I shared about, two different situations where I was dating, just single, dating, enjoying life. And I will say that, as a woman, mid-30s, I was at a point in my life where I enjoyed being single. I've been divorced, I've been in relationships, and I actually enjoyed just the solitude. Wasn't really looking for any sort of relationship or anything like that. And that's big for me because I have always been the type of person who just wanted I've just always been a long-term relationship, monogamous kind of girl. So to be in the situation where I'm actually enjoying just getting to know different people was cool with me. But, when you're dating, and I'm not talking about sex, I'm talking about dating, getting to know people, spending time with one another, and really deciding what are your do's and don'ts, just seeing what's out there so that when you are ready to make that move, you are clear about, because you make a lot of mistakes when you're younger, when you're in your teens, when you're in your 20s, you think you want this, and then you get that, and you're like, that ain't it. Or so I say all that to say, when you get to a point where you're dating, and of course there might be one or two people who you're kind of drawn to more than everybody else. And then when one of those people then say, hey, I like what we're doing, I like where we're going, let's let this just be us. And that comes from the man, not me, because I was fine. So that comes from the man. Let's let this just be us.
Right.
Let's lock it in. Let's be exclusive. It's just us. And then not long after, they end up doing something to disrespect that, whether it's actually having an actual relationship or inappropriate things with another woman, or just being disrespectful when it comes to other women and saying and doing things that you probably shouldn't do if you're committed to one person. And that it was just weird to me. Like, you could have continued to be out there and did whatever you wanted to do, and that would have been fine.
Right.
Because we weren't an item. We were dating. You were seeing people. I was seeing people. So why make the decision that you wanted me to be your lady, but your actions are showing you really didn't want that? It makes no sense to me whatsoever, especially me being a woman who wasn't bringing it up, wasn't pressing it, didn't ask you about it. I'm just, that baffles my mind.
Gentlemen.
Before I talk, I got to change my background. Anything that I say
Yes.
may not be a representation of RETV. So I may have to change my background to something else right quick. Just to make sure that anything I say is not held against my network.
We on your network, Ty.
Right. This is your network.
This is your network.
We here.
They don't know that.
Everybody knows that.
Everybody knows that. I just introduced you.
Yeah, don't fall for it. Don't fall for it, man. Don't fall for it. Change it up, bro. Change it up. We gotta keep this thing going. We got a good thing going at RETV, man. I don't want to mess it up.
Hold on, we still have people that are coming in, but I want to make sure that I let our audience know, our live audience know, if you all have questions, please put them in the comments, or if you have comments, please place them there. Feel free. We want to be as interactive as possible. And some of you may have started a watch party. Unfortunately, we won't see those comments or questions. It's only those that have stayed on the RETV platform. But Mr. RETV himself sounded like he has something to say.
Oh no, I didn't have anything to say. I just wanted to make sure that anything that I did say was not held against Relationship Entertainment Television.
Right, but I just want you to know we still see RETV in the right-hand corner, but we'll keep going. And like I told everybody, Uncle Ty, he is Uncle Ty. Uncle Kenny, a few weeks ago, I was in a conversation with my uncle, and he was telling me how he was proud of me doing these shows. And Tiffany, I think it was that same week that I actually saw that question posed. And I'm going to tell you why it resonated with me, because I know, like a lot of other women, they've had that experience. I've had it as well. And I won't necessarily go into great detail about it tonight, because I really want the men to answer this question, as give us some insight to it. And so when I told Uncle Kenny that we would be doing the show, he said, I've done plenty of those. He sabotaged a number of relationships. And as soon as he said that, I said, I need to have you on just so we can hear, why did you do it, Uncle Kenny? When you knew you were in a good relationship, why did you sabotage it?
Just past hurts. This is just my belief. Everything that we do that sheds a negative or a disconnect in a relationship starts with a hurt. You know, as a young man, you know, most of us are taught love from our mother, and when we interact with the opposite sex and it doesn't feel, or the package isn't like what we learned from our parent or our mother, and something happens that devastates us, we tend to kind of hold that in the back of I'm going to talk for me. I held it in the back of my mind, and I self-sabotaged a lot of good relationships. When it seemed like it was going to get serious in the commitment, what Tiffany was talking about, I've done that. And I was calling myself being smart and doing it by kind of putting it out there to see if she's going to like back down, you know, but she didn't back down. She was all for it. And then the next thing you know, I have to backpedal and figure out some other way of getting out of this relationship, because I really wasn't as committed as I led my counterpart to be.
Can let me say this? And please, Ty, please, Black, and Nicole, and Tiffany, please jump in as well, because we've all had enough experiences collectively on this call. If you know you are afraid, because I'm going to tell y'all something. I can call a spade a spade. I know that's what I dealt with. Because like you, Tiffany, I didn't go out pursuing anybody. brother, you hit me up. And I'm not some gullible, for real, I'm not some gullible woman waiting around for a man to tell me all these sweet things that he think I want to hear. I'm not that lady. It's just like, oh, you want to do that? Cool. But then midstream, like you start ghosting. That's problematic. Let me say this to y'all. And y'all on the hot seat because y'all signed up to be on this show. So congratulations.
Just so everybody know, I was forced.
Hey, let's get it started then. Let's go. Let's get it. Let's get it. Y'all not already
and Ty, make up your mind with that background. Make up your mind. RETV with that background. But here's the thing. Y'all need to give us more credit because when you do that, you are assuming that I'm okay with playing your game. So just tell me up front, like truly, a lot of us, we're big girls, not big girls, we're women. We can handle it. I can respect you a lot more, brother, if you just told me, you know what, right now, this is what I like, but right now I'm not ready. Cool. I can understand that because it's a lot of us women, we aren't going to pressure you guys into being in something that's not even at 100%. If you know that you really at 40 or 60%, stay at your 40 or 60%.
You stay there.
Don't come for me trying to act like you at 100 and you know that you won't.
Right. And this, so I know that, with a lot of men, it definitely is fear. And it is lack of vulnerability. But Kenny, my question to you is, I could see if it was a situation that a lot of people think that it is, where you have a woman and a man that they are dating and things are going well or whatever, and she's getting antsy, like, oh, when is he going to ask me? What are we doing? But so then, I could see if it was one of those type of situations where she's kind of pressing him, what are we going to do? And this and that, and blah, blah, blah. So then even if he's not, again, if he's at his 40%, he's at his 50%, and he then tells her what she wants to hear just to buy him some time or whatever. But if you have a woman who's not giving any of that and is completely fine, it's not necessary. It's not really you telling her what she wants to hear and then realizing and like, oh shoot, what did I do? And then now let me backpedal. These situations were like the men were pressing it hard, like, you my woman. Listen, why, sir?
I can't answer that one. It just seems from what you're telling me, it just seems like they don't want nobody. They don't want nobody else to have you.
Yeah.
Bingo.
So their 60% is locked in on you, and they don't want nobody else to have you. Now, look, if I'm in a relationship and she cool with how things are going and how we're flowing, no problem.
We can't fall for that word. First of all, I need to know, it's one word that's killing me in this whole thing. The word is sabotage. When you say sabotage, that means you are trying to wreck or destroy something on purpose.
On purpose.
Now, any man who would sabotage a good relationship, that's another word. What's your definition of a good relationship? When he went all good at the time, but later on some things transpired. What good ain't good no more. I got to do what I got to do, i.e. I will ghost, i.e. I'll call her back next year, i.e. bye. So sabotage is a strong word. It's a strong word.
Okay, sabotage. Hold on. Let me say this. Let me say this, Black.
He's just giving you the truth.
Did you say the truth?
Go ahead.
It's truth. I mean, we do self-sabotage.
I have definitely had men admit that they tend to.
And then again, he said something very key, and I meant to say this after you finish up.
Hold on, Black. We're having technical difficulties.
Yeah, I think your net.
Yeah, it's a Tiffany.
That's all
I want you to finish your point, Ty. I don't.
Oh no, I was just saying I have had men. I mean,
ahead.
Kenny admitted it, but I've had men admit like I get scared and I sabotage things. Things are going well. Things are going too well.
There you go.
I start thinking about all of the things that could have been or could be. I start thinking about all the dirt that I did to somebody way back in the day, and now I'm thinking karma might come for me right now. So
That's what it
let
is.
me just mess this all up before I get my heart broken. I've had men admit that to me.
Mm-hmm. Mm-hmm. And I've been told that as well. Mm-hmm. And I had to tell an individual, it's like, there's a pattern here. Because the thing is, what you say, Ty?
I said, my question is, what kind of dudes y'all be messing with that keep self-sabotaging and admitting that they self-sabotaging?
Okay, so were you listening at the beginning of the hour when I said I have one experience? I'm not the lady that needs to date multiple men. Right. I have one experience.
If that was your one experience.
But hold on, Ty. Hold on. Because I know you on Black ready to come for me, but I'm going to give it back.
No, I'm not ready to come for you. But I'm good. Okay, so my first issue is Black had his list. I got my list too. My first issue is not all men are the same. So that's that question, because it depends on what type of dude you messing with in the first place.
Okay, let me say this to you. And I can only speak from my experience, and this is why we're talking. We don't claim to like when I have an experience with one person, I don't look at all of y'all the same. I'm not that shallow in the brain to do that. Okay, the problem comes for real. And Tiffany made a valid point. And we can take this so many different ways. But when a man, the question is, why do men? When a man has been real foul towards women for years, the assumption is when you finally get that one that you care about, that intrigues you the most, you assume that she's going to do to you what other women have done. So the thing is, let me tell you something. Come on. The brothers aren't going to start out foul. That's how I don't even want to say they're being reeled in. I really think, just like with what Tiffany said, a lot of it has to do with the lack of vulnerability and fear, afraid of getting hurt. So before I get they in it, and it's just like, come on, a lot of people say that they want their life to change, but when it starts changing, because it starts to feel unfamiliar. So it can be scary. But I need y'all men to understand, y'all get so caught up. Look, I got to roll my sleeves up because y'all think this is the game. Y'all get so caught up in thinking that we're just the emotional ones. Let me tell you, for some of us, it's not easy for us to be vulnerable. Right. And once we do that, and then something like this happens, that can mess us up. So now I got to fight to make sure that, man, every dude isn't like this. I'm telling you, I had plenty of experiences with one person. And it's like, duly noted. I do not want to deal with that again. But, Ty, I'm not dealing with multiple people. I told you, brother. One.
Right. But that one, based on that one, your statement into your show is, why do men? But you're basing it on that one. Tiffany is basing it on, I don't know, maybe one. We did this on Man Cave. We came up with a whole list of 5 or something.
Right. Y'all made up stuff.
I think it was like 12.
Yeah, we I don't know what we gave you, Tiffany. We gave you
I think she had Jesus and the disciples.
My point is, there are different. That's why I asked, what kind of dudes y'all mess with? Because there's different types.
Crazy.
Yes, there are dudes. There are guys who like to play games. That's what they do. There are those. Tiffany says she's known some that openly admitted, either A, they were playing games, or B, they realized what was going on and it was too much in the hand. 2, on the flip side of that, from a male's point of view, there's another point from a male's point of view, where there are times, especially with women, when we commit, y'all change, which makes us then say, now we got the funny look. Y'all
had a funny look earlier. We're just giving it back. Come on, let's go.
Right.
Y'all get comfortable Get comfortable. And once you get comfortable, you stop doing certain things, you start acting certain ways, and so forth, and thus making us go, you know what? Maybe we do need to get ghosts. Maybe we do. Maybe this isn't what we like. Yes, we were chasing you. And
that's their definition of good. Going well.
First of all, that's
y'all definition of things are going well.
That was not the case. But even if it was the case, grow up.
Thank you.
It goes. Why do all that? How about a conversation? How about communication about, listen, I don't like when you X, Y, and Z. Or this A, B, and C makes me feel a certain kind of way. Or can we get back to A, B, and C? What? Why get ghosts? Why run? Why do that? Like, what's wrong with you?
Ty, let me tell you something, Ty. That's a whole different conversation. It really is. And the truth
that's part of the answer to your question.
How is it, Ty?
There are times
we're trying to tell you why.
Why do men sabotage good relationships? Black answered that question earlier. What's your definition of good? It may have been good then, but once we committed, things may not be good no more. Thus, you may think we're sabotaging, but we may be like, you know what? We done.
So, Ty, you're saying things may not be good from a man's definition of good.
Thank you. Exactly. Well, not necessarily our definition. Exactly.
Okay. I think that me and Tiffany are coming from, and I'm coming from my experience.
Right.
You know that you connect with this person, but because of fear, and that's what I'm saying, we need a part 2 to this, and we are going to have a part 2.
Right.
But a part of it is fear. Is like they do something intentionally to cause you to back up from them, or it's what I call the self-fulfilling prophecy, which is real. They do something, they behave a certain way, expecting us to behave a certain way, which we probably didn't want to do that to begin with. And so it's like, oh, I knew she was going to do X, Y, and Z, but really you were the one being funny acting. I'm going to tell y'all something. It's Mental Health Awareness Month. Get some counseling. We have one that is on the line. Lauren, I'm not kidding. Lauren, please put your information in Comprehensive Wellness of Milwaukee, because I'm going to tell you something. That's some grown little boy stuff. Grown men don't do that.
Right.
So to piggyback off of what Tiffany stated, that it's better, or we would find it more respectful if a conversation was had and initiated by the man. And if let's say, the man has decided, hey, I don't want this anymore. I don't even necessarily want to take the time to try to get back to where we used to. At the very least, at least communicate what your plan is, what your feelings are, that this isn't working for you anymore and you think you need to go elsewhere, versus just ghosting and leaving us high and dry, wondering what happened.
And I think that we're talking about 2 different situations, honestly, because Tyron, I'm not even disputing what you're saying, because that happens in certain situations that, maybe she got comfortable. Maybe he just wasn't happy anymore. Maybe it wasn't good anymore and he felt some kind of way or whatever. But we're not talking about that in this situation. In this situation, and I didn't really go into detail, but and I'm still not, because of the people, but I will say that no, in these situations, when you are faced with something or questioned about something, because you're angry and your ego is inflated about, why are you questioning me about this, or why is it that you're trying to tell, even though that's not the case, you're trying to tell me I can't do this and you're trying to tell me I can't do that, well, we ain't together anyway. Like, what? You the one that said that you wanted to be exclusive. So now what are you talking about? So that's 2 different things. To deflect the situation when you just don't like being confronted with being wrong with your actions. That's 2 different things.
Can I touch on?
And that's a problem that men have overall, is the ego. And just jump into defense when confronted.
See, our relationship has changed already. See, we got a different relationship right now already.
Listen. I just want to say this. As a young man, I had a problem with confrontation. I had a problem with confrontation. I didn't like it. So when it came to having the conversation with the young lady, if I wasn't comfortable being in a relationship, I didn't want the confrontation. So therein lies maybe why men go ghost. I don't know. I'm just saying for me, I never went ghost, but I went ghostish.
What?
What's ghostish?
What's ghostish, Uncle Kenny?
Ghostish is like I called you, my phone went dead, or
before
I worked late, or I had a game and the game went into overtime, and then we hung out with the fellas. I'm just saying, as a young man, I mean, it is what it is. It's what I did. It's what I did. I'm just gonna keep it real. It's what I did. You, as my father would say, when you learn better, you do better.
Absolutely.
So I learned better. I think that because this forum is about why do men sabotage good relationships, and I agree with Ty when he says what is good. And Janie, she made a good comment. I'm looking at the comments, and she said communication. If the both of us aren't talking about what's a good relationship for the both of us, we will never know. We will never know. I'll have my opinion. She'll have her opinion, and the opinions might be doing this, and we will never know.
Yeah.
And there lies the sabotage.
Can I say this? It's like I hear that, but y'all don't have any problem communicating when y'all want sex. So the same word, the same way you put.
Wait.
Uncle
We
Kenny,
ain't the only ones that want sex, though.
but
that's not what she said.
That's not what I'm saying.
That's not what she said.
Okay, y'all. I can say the same thing, but we're not talking about that. I can say the same thing. I could come home.
Ken, let me
I can come home from out picking it, and you could be ready to go, and I'll be like, man, I'm tired, or whatever. I can say the same thing, but that's not. That's
Uncle Kenny. All I'm saying is, let me tell you, and this is in all seriousness, but because we can go real deep with this. But one of our viewers, I don't want to mispronounce your name, dear. I don't know if it's Namia. But she said, I don't think men understand the trauma of a woman who's had real relationships that's failed. There's so many levels to it, and most time they only see the surface stuff, but it's so much deeper. Most times they can't or choose not to deal with it and leave, like you mentioned earlier, Uncle Kenny. In their defense, they simply may not know how to. Men. Black, did you want to weigh in on that?
I do.
Man, yes, I do. I'm sorry, I'm saying her name wrong, but hey, look, it's vulnerable for everybody. And let me just preface this. Let's take this thing way back. We're gonna talk about why men, as we say, sabotage. I like Kenny's word is why they self-sabotage. We self-sabotage. We're not trying to do anything to you. And a lot of times women, y'all don't give. Well, I'm not gonna say y'all, but women don't give men enough room. We working through our whole puberty of trying to just want women and want every woman we see sometimes. I'm not talking about all men, but we're bombarded, and that's all we want. That's testosterone in our bodies. We have not yet figured out how to use that stuff just yet. And sometimes, it's not you, it's the man. He's just still trying to figure himself out. He's just trying to figure himself out. And sometimes when you get too close, he have to back out for a minute. Like, whoa, wait 1 minute now. And that's when the sabotage from your eyes, because he is stepped out the line, but he's just trying to get himself together. Sometimes. Now that's just sometimes, not all the time. So don't think it's always they're trying to do something wrong or bad to it, or you. It's just them. Sometimes it's us.
So, Black, even in that instance, I still say it requires a conversation.
Conversation.
Just so that both of you know where you both are or where the other is feeling. You know, just mutual respect.
If we talking about us as professional, been through this stuff a couple of times, yeah, that's easy to say. But when we're talking, a lot of times this, and don't get, I'm just speaking. Like you said, grow up, be a grown man. I don't know. Most grown men can do what we're talking about. Hey, listen, this ain't working. That ain't working. So when we're starting off in a lot of relationships in our younger stages, or even in our older stages with a new relationship, sometimes we don't know how to communicate that because we're trying to be empathetic about your feelings. Like, I can't tell you right, I'm not feeling. Because a lot of times, all you hear is, oh, I ain't did nothing right. Oh, it's all that bad? And we ain't got time to hear all that. I know I don't. So sometimes what we do is we cause a difference in the relationship just to get ourselves together. And sometimes, see, we have to go off and find out that we don't want what we going out and realize we got what we want right then. But a lot of times it's over because we have sabotaged. So it's on to the next.
Every time. Because, and you know how I know? It's because they always come back. Always come back. Always. I mean, always.
So ladies.
Realize
what
you have in the first place.
Here's something y'all fail to realize. Once a man knows that he has something good and he step out, but he come back to you, you got that man for the rest of your life if you play your cards right. But most of you go bug wild and you want to hurt him like he hurt you.
No.
Just had a relationship.
Ain't nobody got time for those kind of games.
If you want.
Nobody has time.
Hold on, Black, hold on. Black, hold on, because we're not trying to cut you off, but it is something going on with your connection, and probably for good reason, because you don't want to make. But I'm just going. I'm gonna say this. I see why we need a part 2. Truly, because you're talking about if you play your cards right, and you right, Tiffany. Because brother, I'm not checking for you
at all,
and she's right. We'll come circle back around. And the thing is, I shouldn't have to play my cards right. You should get your, again, I'm going to keep throwing this plug out there. Comprehensive Wellness.
Absolutely.
Milwaukee. Ty has been so kind to put that down there. I'm not kidding. Get this mental stuff in order, because let me tell y'all something on a deeper level. We are affecting families. Now, I told Ty the other week, I don't play any games when it comes to the Black community. But brother, you can't be talking about you pro-Black and you are tearing sisters up.
Absolutely.
And women don't let me, hold on. And when you talk about, hold on, Black, you said a whole lot, because you just, man, you done stirred me up. I got to roll my sleeves up again. You playing. But when you said, like, we try to come back and hurt you, look, I didn't want to say too much tonight, but I'm going to say this, and Tiffany, speak your piece, because if somebody chose to spend time with you, guess what? You open, brother. For really, this is my experience, and I'm not going to call any names. But when y'all play games, and trust me, some of us women, it's not even that we're trying to play a game. It's just that we're going to be upfront too. Now, I was dating a brother and he wasn't quite ready. And he kept going back and forth. And I was trying to give him the benefit of the doubt. And I knew he was struggling with fear. So when he came back again, I said, look, I need you to understand something. You're not going to be the only person that I'm going to see. I was upfront. All right, cool, is what I heard. But when word came back around, I should have listened to my mama, because she told me you can't tell a man everything, but I just wanted to be so honest. And I shared something with the individual that I had done, and it was like, oh, now you want to look at me sideways. But I was like, I told you up front, you weren't going to be the only person that I was going to see. And so it goes back to what somebody said earlier. You want to keep so much of me held on to because you really don't want to let me go.
Right.
But you want to, as my grandfather say, have your cake and eat it too. But you want to have all this whole field house over here and a group of women that know you involved with somebody. And that's another conversation. And they want to deal with you as well. But anyway, I'm going to back up from that. But Black, you starting.
Well, no, and I want to take it somewhere else, kind of piggybacking off of what you're saying. When I tell you that mental health and therapy and counseling is imperative, it is imperative, especially for our community, because I will give a lot of men I know the benefit of the doubt. I know a lot of men who really do want it all. They want to do well. They want one woman. They want a family. They have no clue how to go about it. Why? Because they didn't see it.
Okay.
They didn't see it. So you know, out of everybody that I know, or even people that I've dated, the ones, and I cannot speak for all of the men in the world, but this is the trend that I've seen in my own past and education and career in mental health. The ones who have major issues, not because everybody has issues. Nobody's perfect. Everybody has issues.
Yeah.
Some are bigger than others. The ones who have major issues, either their dad wasn't around for them to see how a healthy man and woman situation is supposed to be, or their dad was around, but not really. Their father was a womanizer. Their father was on drugs. Then you got a lot of men who have abandonment issues. Their mother was doing whatever. Their mother had too many children to focus and had to pay enough close attention and one-on-one time with them. It's so many different dynamics that go back to childhood that affect these men today in their 40s. And they have not taken the proper steps to completely heal from that. And I don't mean 1 or 2 sessions. I don't even mean a year or 2, because if it took you 43 years to get a certain way, brother, it's going to take you a long time to undo some things and to unravel some things. And unfortunately, with our community, we have a history. I mean, we are rooted in people trying to tear us apart.
Yes.
People trying to break us up. And that's all we know. Something you're not gonna get past that. You're not gonna break that by yourself.
Oh, Tiffany, stop there. Because when you say you're not gonna break that by yourself, and I really want my gentlemen to understand this, because truth be told, we're going to talk about how a woman sabotaged the relationship, and she's on the panel. Like, really, it goes both ways. We started it with men, but this is what I want to say. And Ty, I asked this question. You are going to show it probably eventually on Millionaire Man Cave. But if y'all know that y'all buddy is dealing with a woman and she's really great, like, you know, she's great for him and he's great for her, do y'all open your mouth and hold each other accountable when you know that your dude is like foul? Because I'm gonna tell you something. I don't hang around with women that aren't going to check me. I don't. That's not even my style. I don't hang around people. Dead. If I'm foul, the women that I'm connected to are gonna be like, Toya, you out of line. I'm not gonna let you do that. I'm not even gonna let you say that. So my question to you all is, do y'all hold each other accountable for this kind of stuff?
Yes, we do. To answer that question immediately, since everybody seems to think that some of us can answer the question directly. The direct answer to that question is yes, we do. I know what a lot of people, a lot of women say.
There's a knocking noise.
Hold on, I think it might be Tiffany's cord, or I don't know if it's time. It's okay, honey.
I know a lot of people will say that we don't, but somebody actually mentioned in the comments, not all women are the same. Not all men are the same. So while some of you all may sit there and say, no, we don't, because we sit there and laugh and giggle at our buddies, there are some of us that actually do, and we're just not heard of as often. But to answer your question directly, yes, we do. If we truly care for him and we do realize that he is making a mistake or he's doing something stupid, Yeah, we hold them accountable, and we actually say, "Dude, what is you doing?"
Absolutely.
That's
it's up to
rare.
Absolutely.
It's up to that man to make the decision whether or not he's actually going to do what he needs to do. We can't say we can hold him accountable. We can't hold a gun to his head.
And on the flip side of that, Toy, when we encounter a friend that we know that he ain't serious, that he's out here doing XYZ and being detrimental to another woman, we kind of distance ourselves. Say, man, let me speak for myself.
Okay.
I'll distance myself.
In
my growth,
from your friends who will keep you accountable.
I distance myself from somebody that's not being real.
Gotcha.
If you out there just trying to get a notch in your belt, I'm so way past that. I'm way past that.
All right.
That's not where I am. So, you have to associate yourself. Your circle has to be where you want to go. You don't want to be the big fish in a small pond.
Right.
You don't have no room for growth. So that was my 20s. I don't have time for that.
Yeah, and sometimes you don't. I mean, with situations like that, I view it like this: all discrepancies in a true relationship, they should never be addressed in front of groups or anything. So the things that a lot of, just for me in my circle, listen, we take that person on a one-on-one basis. Nobody would ever know what happened. But as much as we joke and we joke about, that's a serious side of what we want to do to help out other brothers, man. And ladies, you may not ever see that. Hopefully, you change in somebody. But yeah, to answer your question, yes, because first of all, I have kids. I got a family myself, and I can't associate myself with people who are going to be detrimental to my family life. And so I make that a point to let that be known. Either get your stuff together, bro, we can't hang around each other no more. That's real talk for me.
Absolutely.
Now, that's just where it is. Now, not just excluding or Xing somebody out, but provide support. Trying to say, okay, let's do this, man. When this happens, we let's do this. When you start feeling like this, what you think we ought to be doing? And so you want to support brothers and each other, because like you said, it's a community that's being affected. Not just me trying to get myself.
Let me say this. Hold on, because now I see some men are commenting. Jamie Reed wrote, there is a fine line. Don't over interject into someone else's business. I don't know.
He's right.
But what's over interject? I mean,
that's my
I've
question.
heard I have, again, no, not all men, but the men that I know, it's men more than women that I've seen that be like, hey, that's on him. That's his business. He do what he do, and like, no, because like Toys, if my friends are foul, sis, come on now. You foul. And I'm going to tell you foul. And I love you still, but you're foul. Now, if you continue to do those things, then we're going to have to reevaluate our relationship. Because again, as it was mentioned earlier, your circle is everything. Your circle is everything. But a lot of men have a hands-off approach, like, I'm going to mind my business because I know he out with this one, and that one. I know he got a woman at home, but hey, that ain't my business.
Is that deemed as man code?
Right.
No. See, Tiffany, what you probably don't know is that we've had that conversation with him. And if he is not receiving the conversation, you have to dust your feet and keep it moving. You can't make a man do what he don't want to do. True. So we may have had that conversation and tell you, hey, he doing what he do. That's him. We may have already had this conversation with him and say, hey, look, brother, you got a good woman at home. what's going on? Oh man, then when it gets to a point where you're offensive to him, then you go, okay, I said what I have to say.
So Jamie, he responded. He said, first off, I think a friend foul dude. So, and here's the thing. I understand when he said that fine line, because the truth of the matter is, I can only speak for me. This is why, thank you, Ty. I'm going to put a plug in again because somebody may have tuned in late. This is why we need y'all to download the RETV app, follow RETV on Instagram, and follow them on Facebook and YouTube under Relationship Entertainment Television. The gentleman that has the RETV screen behind him is the brains, and the reason why we have this now, he's proud of his platform. Now he's not going to be guilty. He's happy that we're having this conversation. But we really want everybody to support this network. This is at the beginning stages of their network, and the thing is, I'm going to tell y'all something, because I feel like I have to do a commercial break real quick. But I had a conversation with someone on Monday and the show last week when we were talking about all shades, all textures. And she said, Toya, this platform is very necessary because too often people expect to see celebrities on these type of platforms. And the thing is, they're people, everybody's just, to me, we're regular people. We're having these real conversations that we're not the only ones having them. It's not on this type of platform. This is why we need people to like and share RETV. They have wonderful information there. The whole goal for RETV is to educate, inspire, and entertain. And even with this conversation, say that again, Ty?
No, I was finishing your sentence for you. Entertain.
Oh, I got this. Thank you, Ty. I got this. I got you, Ty. Thank you. But what I want to say is, and this is serious, because I know that we're like laughing, but there are a lot of hurt people. And I'm going to tell you that's watching. My whole aim at doing these shows, I know we're laughing, but I want people to be healed. And that includes our men. Yeah. Okay. So we have to have these conversations. Like, we're laughing, but there are a lot of women, and I'm speaking for women. Okay. A lot of women that are hurt because they came into something believing that it was going to be here, and the brother chose to go a different route. And again, like Tiffany and I said, we're only speaking from our experience. I'm not saying all men are like this. I can only talk about that experience I had. But sabotage the relationship, because of fear and because of not wanting to be vulnerable. But anyway, because we're almost at the top of the hour, I do want Nicole to talk, because here's the things, guys. It's not just y'all that do it. Women do it as well. And it goes back to what you said earlier, Tiffany. When we talk about hurt and fear, some people, I believe they want a relationship, but they're not ready to step in at 100% because so much of them is guarded. So Nicole will speak from the perspective of a woman that almost sabotaged her relationship.
That's right. So coming from a time standpoint, recently divorced, now a single mother, and getting back out there in the dating scene and trying to, maneuver the environment while also being mindful that I have a child now. So there are certain precautions I'm going to take, because those who I choose to date, everyone won't meet the standard to meet my child. Right. And more so, all of them won't meet my child until I'm at a place where, one, I'm ready to be serious. And I think that the engagement with my child has to be done so I can make the determination whether or not it's safe for us to move forward if we work as a package, right? So dating a couple people, at once, just like Tiffany said, just enjoying life. Sex off the table. It's just a point of getting to know one another. And met a gentleman who initially, friendship clicked really well. Okay. And
Mhm.
Y'all hush.
On that note, caffeine.
clicked really well. What? And he piqued my interest to the point where I thought, okay, maybe this could really go somewhere. However, I had a timeline already set for myself and a standard for myself that because I had been married before, marriage was not on my horizon. It just wasn't. I had a plan that I was going to be single until my child was 18 years old. And then maybe I would decide to marry again, right? Long story short, things are going well. This gentleman and I both make the mutual decision to say, hey, this seems to be more than just a friendship. How about we take it to the next level? Okay, cool. And because of that, then I think after a period of time, it will be, at some point, you will meet my child, okay? That time comes, things are going well. And for me, I realized where it was going and said to myself, oh, wait, this feels too good. And also based upon by my definition of good, I'm not sure I'm ready for this. I said that to myself, not to him initially, right? And so I said, no, I'm going to stick with my plan because one, I've been here before. I've had this feeling before. And because of the past experience I had, I need to pump the brakes.
Okay.
So by pumping the brakes, that meant I need to go back to my original timeline, my original list of what I wanted to do. And I started to make plans to relocate out of the city. Okay. I loosely let him know of that plan, very loosely, meaning made the trip or made the plans to go visit this new city, took my daughter, we did the tour, the whole nine. After being there, I felt like, yeah, this is going to be a good fit. I need to start over. And I think by doing that, I will be able to, one, truly heal from the relationship I was in the past, and two, have a clear mind on where I want to go truly in the future. I had never truly, well, I won't say that. I've done that. I did that previously to a certain degree. But because now I'm older and a little bit more mature, I figure, okay, this is what I need to do for me. Come back from that trip. And I actually did sit him down and I said, I'm moving. I cut to the chase. There was no sugarcoating. There was no, I think this is what I'm going to do. Once I finally made the decision, I cut to the chase and I said, I'm moving. He did not believe me. And actually, he didn't believe me until the moving truck pulled up to the house and the boxes were being packed.
Well.
And I guess I say all that to say, granted, no, it's not just the men who do it. And when I say stellar guys, I mean everything on the list plus some. But because of my fear and not sure if I can really do this marriage thing, because he was talking marriage. He's like, I can see a future. And I was like, whoa, hold up.
Wow.
Moving too fast. No, I've been there before. I'm not sure if marriage is what I want. What did Black say?
What you say?
No, that was me. I said pump your brakes.
Oh.
Wow.
I wasn't gonna mess up that story.
Yeah, y'all did get quite quiet. Y'all did get quite quiet.
Sure did. Oh, they want to hear the side.
I'm about to cry.
And we did it
Nicole,
all the time.
I feel so hurt.
Hold on. Nicole, let me say that. Let me ask you this. Because the truth of the matter is, and you spoke about part of this when we did the daddy issues show. You had to have someone bring to your attention what you were doing. See, this, I'm going to tell you something. One of my other big words is accountability, and having people around you that are going to hold you accountable and challenge you. This is why we have to talk, because when you open up your mouth and tell someone where you are, just where you are up here, that gives them the opportunity to decide if they want to be a part of your healing journey. Because like you, Stephanie, it's not going to happen overnight, but at least let me know what you are struggling with. So Nicole, would you tell us how you were brought to your senses before you lost out on that opportunity?
That's a good point. When you speak about
and I want to be real. When I say opportunity, I need that gentleman to know he's not gonna get too many more compliments out of me, but I'm gonna be polite because we're a very TV platform. So keep going.
So when you speak about mental health and needing counseling, I realized I had not received counseling after my divorce. Granted, I spent some time with just being by myself before getting out into the dating world, but I didn't seek out counseling initially at all. It wasn't until after I relocated and said, okay, Nicole, you're starting off fresh. Let's get to the root of why you choose the type of men you choose. And through that, realized it was because of daddy issues. The lack of my birth father being fully in my life, the way that I desired for him to be. Okay. So once I did that and was able to do a lot of soul searching and a lot of deep intercessory prayer for myself, my thought process changed and said, okay, I'm doing this thing by myself, but is it truly what I want? I truly desire to have a companion. And I also want to have an environment where my daughter can see a healthy relationship. Okay?
Bingo.
So in my mind, I'm saying, okay, so where I am, I'm going to start dating. And I let that be known to the gentleman from the other state that I left. I'm going to start dating out here just to see what it's like. He wasn't happy. Because, of course, I'm thinking I've relocated. Eventually, he's going to come to a standpoint of out of sight, out of mind. He'll forget about me. He'll move on. And I even told him, I said, because of the love that I have for you, whomever you choose to really decide to be with, let me meet her. Because I want to make sure that she's good for you.
Wow.
That's how much love I have for you. But I'm not willing to do this long distance relationship, and I'm definitely not willing to move back. So I want us both to have a mutual understanding. We both love each other. I love you enough to do that. Go do that. Because I truly want you to be happy. You're a solid dude. Long story short, my mother calls me. And this is maybe 6 months after I'm already, maybe not even that long, in the new place. She calls me up and she says, I need you to, I'm flying down there. I need you to make sure you have babysitting coverage for my grandchild, because you and we need to have a one-on-one, woman-to-woman talk. And I'm like, first of all, I asked her, is everything okay? Are you're not coming down here to give me bad news? No, nothing like that. It's woman to woman. You good. She comes, we go to dinner. She flat out asked me, what are you doing?
Mm.
And I said, what do you mean? What am I doing? I'm living my life in a new place. She says, but you're here by yourself. Is this truly what you want?
Mm.
While at the same time, you have someone who not only loves you, but loves your child. That doesn't happen overnight.
Mm-hmm. Mm-hmm.
I said, true, but I have some reservations, and I'm just not sure I'm good enough for him to a certain degree.
Mm.
And she says, well, I need you to ponder on this. If something were to happen to you, or something were to happen to him, how would you truly feel? Because you still have this connection to him. He's calling. He's actually come out here and visited a few times. There's still that connection. What happens when it's completely turned off? Then how will you feel?
Mm.
I couldn't respond to her then because I really couldn't answer. I didn't know.
Yeah.
On the surface, I thought I would be good because I told him, hey, go out there and start dating. See who you may find. But when she posed several questions to me that just had me really, really thinking, I thought, okay, let me take some time. And when she did that, I said, okay, but this is mom. Of course, she's going to look out for the better good of her child. Let me consult with some of my girls who are not yes girls. They are girls who are going to shoot it straight from the hip and going to tell me when I'm wrong. And they still do to this day. And I love y'all for it. Balance that for me. And so I asked their opinion and I shared with them kind of the struggles I was going through. And to be truth be told, I didn't want to have another failed marriage. That was probably the biggest fear.
Okay. Yeah.
So long story short, the guy came out, flew back out there. We had a heart-to-heart talk. And I said, if this is what we're going to do, let us both set boundaries and expectations. We did that. And I said, and let's even date long distance. And he's so creative that we even dated long distance where we would choose the same restaurant that was in both states or both cities, pick the same time, meet, and then we would literally have a video chat date. He's eating his food, I'm eating my food. We're having conversations.
I mean, he has a heart. Wow, I didn't know.
And it got to the point where when he would come out to visit, and every time he would leave, my daughter would just boo-hoo. And tell him, please don't go back home. Stay here. And that's what tugged on my heartstrings to say, okay, they have a connection. He and I have a connection. We work well together. Nicole, can you truly wake up the next morning and say, what will my life will be okay without him? Life will be okay. And I couldn't. And so I approached him and I said, hey, move out here. He was like, I love you and all, but I have children of my own. That's not gonna work. So if we do this, come back to Charlotte. Let's make a life together. And once we're empty nesters, we'll move wherever you want to go.
Oh my goodness. This is like a Hallmark movie.
Whatever.
Let me tell you something. Because Nicole, it gives, for you to share that with us is amazing. And because it's not just the men. Like I told y'all before, I know we're talking about this. The question does, ask, why do men sabotage relationships? But the truth of the matter is, and that may be something that we can talk about in part 2 of the show, how do we move beyond that? And that, Lauren had wrote earlier, we all need that mirror. And so, Nicole, for you to share that, and again, I this is like Christmas for you, Ty, because I'm giving you some kudos here. Yeah, because if people didn't know, that man was RET.
Yeah, so for those who don't know, the gentleman I have been speaking of is actually sitting on the panel today, and the owner of RETV, who is now my wonderful husband. And I have to publicly say, babe, I so appreciate you because you stuck through thick and thin. When I intentionally pushed you away, you said, not just with your words, but even with your actions, I'm going to love you through this book.
Wow.
And let me tell you why that's so important for you to share, Nicole, because a lot of women are on and need to hear that. So, of course,
yes.
Tyron is your husband. Tyron is my cousin and also my very best friend. I remember this time. I remember that time. And what I will say about my dear cousin is that there are not, I'm not going to say not a lot, but there are not enough like him. And I want ladies to know that it exists.
Yeah.
And you will have some men who will have gone through that and maybe not have gone through all of that, would have been like, you know what, forget it. And would have just let it go. And definitely not stayed through it. Definitely not a travel back and forth. But that one there, like I told you, Toya, first of all, love him to death, but he's a brat, okay? He want what he want when he wants it. But that's also a good thing because he knew what he wanted and wasn't going to stop. And he was like, she can go. I'm going to go get her. And he went and got her. And not everybody is going to and whether and that's not to say, some men might really truly love a woman, but may not have it in them to do all of that, to go through it, to be as thoughtful as he is, because he's a very thoughtful person. Like you said, he's creative, who'll think of different things, think of stuff that's out of the box in terms of, your dating and your engagement and and it exists. It exists.
It does. It does. It does. And here's the thing. I want everyone to really tune back in next week. I really want to thank the gym for coming on. You, Tiffany, you, Nicole, for your story. This is a start. I will hope that everyone that has been watching, if you found yourself in any of this conversation, this is an opportunity. Like we said, a lot of us have been forced to stay at home and have more time to reflect. Let's reflect on what we're doing. Because some of us, let me say, we start to sabotage before we even get out there to meet someone, because we won't go out there and meet anybody because we're so hurt. I think that we could probably pick back up on that next week. We won't even put ourselves out there because we don't even want to risk getting hurt. And that's sabotaging your life. Like, that's a whole nother conversation. But let me tell you how I like to normally end the show. I always want us to be mindful of the life that we're given, because it really is a gift. And we have to, it helps us to be grateful for what we have. And it's not even just about this material stuff, but man, if being able to hold a conversation is important. Some people aren't there. They're checked out mentally, emotionally, the whole nine. And so I'm just dying to hear what Black has to say. We'll do Black, Uncle Kenny, Tiffany, Nicole, and we'll let Mr. RETV himself close us out. But when we get off, I don't want you all to hang up. We'll just stick around for a little bit. But Black, please tell us something that you're grateful for.
Absolutely. I'm just grateful for, all the people who, helped me in my life. My wife and I, we've been married this year 20 years. And this is not something that we take for granted or we play with. We have ups, we have downs. However, a lot of persistency that Nicole spoke about in her relationship, that's what it takes sometimes to have a great relationship to continue to thrive. You're going to have some downs. You're going to have some downs. You can have some way downs. But you always got to know to always get back up and keep moving. As far as going back to the question about sabotaging, I don't think that's a very small percentage of men out there who deliberately want to do something wrong. There are a number of stories out there where, just like Nicole was not ready, some men aren't ready as well. They just don't handle it the same way she did.
Okay.
But if we can hang on and we persist through it, we can still have a great relationship.
Okay. Thank you. Thank you, Black. Uncle Kenny.
Well, I'm kind of grateful for this panel, and I'm grateful for my nieces. I've never shared this with them, but they allowed me. I mean, every last one of my nieces and my great nieces, they allowed me to practice on them on how to be a good man and how to be a good father. That I could do the same with my child. So that story that Nicole, I never knew that, and I'm a lot like my dad, so I'm kind of holding back right now. But I'm really grateful for you young people. I'm really grateful. I think that what you're doing is just awesome, and I'm just blessed that I'm a part of it today. And I'm gonna continue to pray for y'all. Like I told Ty, I see national in his future. I see national, and I'm not professing to be a prophet, but the man is just he's awesome. He's awesome. So I'm gonna leave it right there. I love every last one of y'all. Thank y'all again for your input. This has been a blast. This has been a blast. A blast.
Oh yes. Tiffany?
I am grateful definitely for tenacity and strength. I'm grateful for all of life's experiences, good and bad, because it makes you who you are, and it helps you to grow, become more wise, to get to as perfect of a life as you can get. It'll never be perfect, but to live your best life. I'm definitely grateful for this opportunity. I'm grateful for this platform and this conversation, which is greatly needed within our community. It just gets everything started. We need to talk. We need to talk. We need to talk. There's no shame in it. There's no, we just need communication between us and our community. We need to be strengthened as Black men and women and our families and our relationships, and just encouraging people to continue the conversations, to take self-reflect. And if there's something that that you just haven't gotten over or you haven't gotten through, please don't feel ashamed or any kind of way for reaching out for help to fix it. Talk to your partners, communicate, be honest, be brutally honest, because you should be able to do that. And if you really want it to work, if you really want something, you got to work for it. You got to fight for it. Don't just, don't just throw it away. Tyron and Nicole, I am so proud of you guys. And I see this, I see big things for you all and for this. And we need it.
Mm-hmm. Mm-hmm. Mm-hmm.
Awesome.
We do.
Well,
Nicole?
I am most certainly grateful for my family, especially during this time when a lot of people have lost family members, and I know we have lost extended family members. I am eternally grateful that for the most part we are healthy, we are whole, we keep each other accountable, and I am grateful for my husband. I am grateful for the man that he is, the vision that he has, and for being the one to not give up. I have learned so much from him and have grown so much from him just by his example. And I'm proud of the example that he is setting for our children. Granted, things aren't perfect because to Tiffany's point, none of us are perfect. I know I'm not. And Ty has seen the good, bad, and the ugly. But he has loved me unconditionally. And I love him just the same. And I am grateful that we are competitive and keeping each other accountable, even when we don't want to hear it, because I know I don't want to hear it. But we try every day to, when we don't want to hear it, to speak in love, because I think the environment you set and the tone that you choose to use when talking to each other is vitally important. And I will admit, I didn't start off that way. I didn't.
Okay.
And we had to coach each other to say, okay, nope, I don't appreciate the tone right now. Pull that back. And so now we're able to have in-depth conversations and deep conversations that are uncomfortable, truth be told, but that are needed. So babe, I just love you. And I thank you.
Wow.
Mr. RETV.
Don't call me that. No. Where do I start? I mean, for Kenny, are you crying, dog?
No. You know, dust.
Let him cry. That's important. This is what y'all need to cry. Y'all just need to cry. Let it out, please, Jesus.
That's true. And all right, I'll say this. I am thankful for all of you all. I'm thankful for everyone who is tuned in, those who have tuned out, those who are subscribers, those who follow us, those who don't follow us. I'm thankful for each and every single one of y'all. For this is a platform that I definitely felt was needed. So I thank people like you, Toya, for having these conversations, like Tiffany said, for our community to hear and our community to even be a part of. Because again, there are celebrities who have conversations all the time, and for some reason, we feel like we have to distance ourselves because they got money and we, don't have as much as they do. I'm not gonna say we don't. I'm not gonna put that in that sphere, but we don't have as much as they do. And we think that we're not the same, but we truly are. But so for you to be able to have this conversation, all of us to have, I appreciate you. I appreciate all of the other shows such as Man Cave and Ladies Lounge and so forth that are on relationship entertainment television. I appreciate my wife and all of you as my family that sits on this panel today. Whether it's via blood, whether it's via friendship or marriage. All of you are my family, and I appreciate the five of you all more than you probably would ever know. This whole conversation about us as men sabotaging is a conversation that's definitely needed to have, in addition to hearing it from both sides. And the reason I say that is because, as I said earlier, not all men are the same, and there are men who truly need some sort of counseling, some sort of help. In addition to, as you flipped it for on Cody's side, need that as well. Need to have that mirror held in front of them, like Lauren said earlier, so that way all of us can see ourselves. Because if we don't hold each other accountable, then where are we as a community? We have to be able to, as men, as well as women, hold each other accountable, as brothers and as sisters, continue to love on one another, say things in love, do things in love, to make us just better people. To Lynette's question, I think I see her answering something on the screen now. Will it be a part 2? Yes, there will be a part 2 next week. Toya has agreed to do about 3 more shows for her season, or more. She's like, wait, I didn't say that. But that's what I'm grateful for. I'm grateful for just this opportunity to be in front of you all, and have this conversation with this show and others as well.
Wow. Well, it's not fair to have all of you all say something and I don't say anything. And I'm not just saying this because you all are on here, but I am appreciative of you all being so willing to give me your time. This is the first opportunity I've had to sit down and talk with Tiffany. We just communicated for the first time this week. This was my first time sitting down having a conversation with Black. I didn't know what we were going to get tonight. Truthfully, I didn't, because I saw Black on Man Cave, and when Ty told me that's the other man that he had, I was like, who? And I was like, oh, okay. And then when I talked to Tiffany, I was like, okay, she's a firecracker. I love it. We both agree that Ty can be who he is. But this, come on, Ty, let's go ahead. Let's just take it. Let's just go ahead and just take the truth. But I'm grateful for this platform, Ty. I'm not just saying that because I realize that some people aren't where I am. And I'm grateful that I've learned to use my voice. I've learned to speak up even more. I've always been really quick to be vocal for other people. When it came to myself, I would kind of like step back a bit. But man, I love that we have an opportunity to get people to start thinking about what they are doing to themselves, because it starts with you. So thank you, Ty, for pushing me. I'm grateful for people that are in my life that push me beyond sometimes where I want to limit myself. Because sometimes, and we're going to talk about that word fear again, because that's a whole nother show that we could possibly do when we talk about fear and limiting ourselves. Thank you, Ty, for seeing in me what I didn't see. And I've shared this before with people. I had no intentions on doing a show. I actually wanted to make tonight my last night. And when I got off the live last Thursday, Ty was like, Toya, no, there's like 2 or 3 more shows. And there were a couple of other people that said, Toya, people need to hear this. And I'm going to challenge everyone that's still on listening with us. I'm grateful for you all hanging there with us, you all. Man, we have to open our mouths. We have to talk. Let's talk to each other. Let's get a lot. There's so much healing that needs to take place. And Ty, you know me, we had this conversation last week when we just talk about our community, when we talk about hundreds of years and not receiving the proper care up here. I want to commend you, gentlemen, because I wish I would get off of this video tonight and not say something about this. Repeatedly seeing Black men being murdered. I am grateful that we all have you on tonight.
Absolutely.
Yeah, I really am. And that you all were willing to be able to hear us and not be quick to bash us, because some of us have, some men can be that way, but you all listen to us. I'm grateful for that. And y'all gave us some really awesome feedback. So I'm just grateful for people being around that push me to even do this. I want to thank our viewers for tuning in and for sharing. And again, please download the RETV app. I pray and hope that you all have a wonderful night. Please come back next week. If you all, I guess I didn't think about this. If you all have questions that maybe you probably think about after we go off of this live, feel free to DM me. I have to use my Instagram more often. But he had a women's _ chant, that's my Instagram page. And you can even message me on Women's Champ Facebook page as well. You all may have some questions for us, but we'll be back. And I just want to tell everybody, have a great night, be safe, and most importantly, be great.